How to savor your life. I remember when I was young, I would take a lot of mental pictures of ordinary things. And these pictures would be me blinking my eyes really, really, really fast and creating these stills in my mind. I would sit as still as possible, close my eyes, and study my picture I just took. And I would then open my eyes to see if I remembered even the tiniest of details. In a way, this was me savoring my day as I took these mental pictures. So what does that look like now? If you've been around for a while, you know that there have been a lot of changes in my life this past year. I moved states, I returned to work in a field I've never been in before, and that requires me to take college classes on top of a typical 40-hour work week, and I am a proud wife and mom of 2. And hopefully a few more. We're renovating a home, and I feel called to create in this way on YouTube. To be honest, this is more busy than I'd like to be, but I know that there's a way to do it all. Not rushed, not stressed, and not constantly overwhelmed. Since having children and the reminders that they bring, I've adopted this phrase of savoring life. Now, to savor means to appreciate fully, to enjoy, or to relish. Now, in order to savor life, we need to find ways to appreciate it fully, to relish in the moment. And for me, that always starts with nourishing my body and nourishing it well. If I'm not eating enough, especially not nutrient-dense meals, I lack energy, motivation, and my fuse shrinks to almost nothing. If I want to be able to show up to all my responsibilities, I need to make sure I'm eating every couple of hours and replenishing my minerals. If this sounds like something you need, check out the blog post in the description called Pro-Metabolic Eating, What Makes a Healthy Body. Next is adopting daily, weekly, and monthly rhythms and implementing systems that make showing up to my everyday life easier. Since I know I can get overwhelmed when I feel like I don't know what's coming next, taking the time once a week to plan is so helpful. The weeks where I don't sit down on Sundays with my husband and plan meals or talk about different things that are happening throughout the week often leads to miscommunication, frustration, and overall negative feelings. So taking the 10 minutes to briefly touch base on Sunday afternoons has been a wonderful way to start our week together, on the same page with a plan and knowing what's for dinner. A few things that help me to savor my days are a consistent sleep schedule, clear phone boundaries, and getting outside with my family every day. With a consistent schedule, I know when there are times that I need to be in work mode and other times where I feel like I'm free to think about just connecting with my kids. Having clear phone boundaries like no phone before breakfast or before dinner means time to focus on myself and the people around me, inviting them into my world. If any of this is interesting to you, please let me know if you want me to make any future videos based on any of the topics that I share in this video. Now, something that helps me create ease in my days and more time to savor the process in an unrushed way is called mise en place. This is a practice that I've been doing but didn't know the name of it until recently. If you're unfamiliar with mise en place, it's a culinary term from France, which means to put in place or gather. It refers to the setup required before cooking. In my life, sometimes it refers to cooking, but I have mainly been doing this on and off since I've had kids. Pulling out their pajamas after supper and getting ready for bedtime, unpacking my lunch bag as soon as I get home, and laying out my work clothes the night before so that I don't have to do that or make those decisions in the morning. I like to call it my 2-minute tasks, but it's a little bit different. Mise en place is setting up yourself for ease. It seems little, but it's been impactful from my day-to-day. How you choose to savor your days is up to you. For me, most of the time, that's sewing, sipping tea, sitting in the sunshine, and hanging with my husband and kids, along with planning what's to come. Knowing what I do today will impact my future makes me pay attention. Now, what's interesting is my whole life I've been a pretty slow mover. When it comes to making decisions, sometimes it can feel like a painfully slow process to everyone but me. Once I make the decision, though, I rarely regret it or wish I made a different one. A few years ago, I kept a lock screen on my phone for a majority of that year that said, "Be intentional," another word that I love. Because that year was a hard year filled with a lot of new changes. And change is something I've always struggled with. I use this lock screen on my phone as a reminder to put my phone down and to be fully present wherever I was. I crave slowness, I crave simplicity, and I crave being where I am fully. I don't wish to be rushed, stressed, or overwhelmed. In this day and age, it is so easy to get caught up in the scroll. in wishing for more, yearning and pining for what others have, and constantly in motion or on to the next. While I think progress is a wonderful thing, I believe we as humans need to pause and pause more. Create space for less in order to savor our days. I believe you choose your life. You can choose busy, you can choose stressful, and you can choose overwhelm. Or you can choose peace. You can choose joy. You can choose slow. And you can choose to savor. Even though we can see into someone else's day so easily, it doesn't mean that we have to. You are allowed to hold boundaries for yourself, and you are allowed to do your own thing. You have choice. Thanks so much for watching. Go out and savor your days, my friends. Until next time.